So quite a significant past 24 hours across, especially the south of the country. There's still weather warnings out for isolated thunderstorms, hail, gusty winds, even some flooding, and yes, tornado warnings are still out. And this is all because of the system that hasn't come from Spain. I correct myself from last night. I do apologise. I was very late when I filmed that. I was tired. But was named by the Spanish Met Office. So yeah, those storm warnings are still in force. There are storms that are popping up on the south of the United Kingdom towards Devon and Cornwall, just south in the English Channel down there. There's been some coming into land. There's been a couple that have been popping off in and around Wales, and now there's a little system as I speak that's coming out of the east side of the Isle of Man, making its way towards the west side of Cumbria, the Lake District, working its way towards Scotland. But what is good to have a look at the moment, going back to the NetWeather GFS weather model, which updates every 6 hours. Bear in mind, this isn't a high resolution model. This only gives you a 3-hour window frame. So anything that I do depict or find is purely what I can see between this time and that time, with a 3-hour window in between. And we can clearly see at the moment that the storm risk percentage on the left hand side there for today, Monday, at 9 o'clock, definitely in the English Channel, working its way through the Celtic and the Irish Sea, going off towards the Isle of Man. There is some greater risk of storm action, which has been proven. The fruits have flourished, and we've seen that as the day has gone on. Today being midday, and as shown in the Cape, which is the energy value that's available for the storms to erupt at any one point. As we flick to 12 o'clock today, you can see that those storms move, or the storm risks move further across the English Channel to the southeast coast into more towards France, and the energy levels start to dissipate and wear off as the evening goes on. And this is now going for 9 o'clock tonight. You can notice down into the left hand side of the storm risk value that it does start to build up again, and as the day goes on into Monday, 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock, some of them storms do try and move away into the south of the country, but by the current model run, it wants to push them a little bit further towards the north of France. The only other storm potential that could possibly occur was going to be into the west part of the Highlands and the islands of Scotland, and we're looking at Thursday at midnight, where you've got a little bit of energy values there where you might just get a few pops going off. And I'm not going to look any further than that, because the confidence becomes incredibly low after about 3 days. So if you're doing any thunderstorms, enjoy them while they last, and make sure you share your content with us if you can do on the Weather Fans Facebook page. So we'll flick to the isobars, the air pressure, and of course we're going to look at the wind gusts, UK wind gusts as well. We're going to start off at 6 o'clock this morning. I know this video has gone a bit later, but we're going to start from that as a foundation and move ourselves forward. So you can see that we've got that Spanish name storm that I can't even seem to get right, Hermione, whatever it is, lingering out towards the east coast of Ireland, but all the action is happening down below as per usual. You can see that with the wind gust speeds on the right hand side there, as those winds are moving themselves across the English Channel and then breaking away. They don't seem to last long. They're not sustained gusts. There has been some action obviously over the past 24 hours where we've seen some great gusts in the south end of the country, but as the time goes on, we're now going into Wednesday, there's not much that's actually coming towards the UK. Bay of Biscay action, but that's all generally what we've got in store. We've got something possibly towards the back end of the week, maybe for northern Scotland, but again, it's just about a week off, so I'm not going to pin my colours to the mast on that one. And even into the back end of the weekend, Sunday, there is a definite depression that seems to be occurring off the west coast of Ireland. I'm sorry, I think I got it wrong before. Where you've got definitely sustainable gusts there of 80 to 90 mile an hour. Something I'm going to keep an eye on. And I've said for years that whenever you get a major weather event, give it a week later, it kind of, something else happens. It's either worse or it's less. But there seems to be a correlation there. So just bear that in mind when I'm talking about these weather events. See if you can see a pattern too at your neck of woods. I did go a little bit into Fantasy Island just to have a look at what the temperatures are going to be like. There's nothing, I mean, it's cooler at the moment, but it seems to warm up. That's the hint that I'm getting from the weather models. But I've just freeze framed this particular one, which is for Friday the 7th of February. It's a while off yet. And this is 6 o'clock in the evening. But if you look over on the right side of the temperatures, and you've got sort of the central belt of Ireland, I think, if my geography is right, is that County Clare, just east of County Clare, is it Tipperary? that sort of area there. It's much further south, isn't it, than where it is for Galway. But in that region there, you've got some very respectable double figures. This is February, 15 degrees. Whether that happens or not is yet to see. But that's shorts and t-shirt weather as far as I'm concerned. And I do look for little nuggets like that in the future. I know I'll get told off by some weather enthusiasts that I shouldn't be doing. But hey, there's nothing wrong with having a little peek to see what the weather models want to say. But in general, if I just move this slider across, you will get an impression of the temperatures. You can see what I was talking about before. They are a bit cooler at the moment because we've got some frosts that are occurring in the prone, the elevated areas. And as time does go on, you can see to the left-hand side. And that potential for warmer air is definitely what we can see. Just so we go way off the coast of. Just my mind's got when I do this, my mind goes so blank at times. Oh, and I'm rushing because I need to go and quote a job. So here we go again. The reason being is because there's a lot of warm air at the moment. They're sort of way off the coast of Spain in the Atlantic, which is influencing the winds and the weather that's we're having over the UK, which is fine because I don't mind the warmer weather. Oh, I totally lost the plot then. But if you look on the right hand side, you can see those double figures down in the left hand side as time goes on. And I've had a quick look. I know I'm going into Fantasy Island, but I don't see anything above 15 degrees. And it'll probably change as the week goes on anyway, or whatever. But you can see that the red warm air. This is at the 500, which is like way up in the atmosphere, so it's not at ground level on the left hand side. The indication of these colours, by the way, I do my best to try and keep it as simple as possible. What is important is the right hand one, where we can actually see the maximum temperatures, which I've taken you now till Saturday the 8th. So let's reflect on the current weather warnings that are issued officially by the Met Office. Obviously, we've got some that are going out for today and tomorrow, very much similar. We've got yellow warnings for South Wales of rain, the same across the south of the country, away off into Brighton from Devon and Cornwall for rain, and of course wind, because as I was telling you before, if we look at the GFS and we've got the wind and the precipitation type on the right hand side, you can see that this is the current one right now at 6 o'clock this morning. We're going off into the afternoon. You can see the wind that's going to be coming in for tomorrow, and that's why they've issued those warnings for Tuesday, just on the left hand side there. And as regards to rain, you can see those bigger, deeper, bluer blobs that are creeping around the south of the country, and also snow, which is forecasted for the tops of Scotland and the Pennines, and of course into Cumbria. So there's nothing significant that I can see right now that I'm going to start talking about, that I'm confident about for anything to come. We've just got these past couple of days, we've got these weather warnings, as I spoke about in a couple of videos back, and then it seems that things want to try and calm down. So to recap, we've got showers, longer spells of rain going into tonight from the southern counties of the United Kingdom. There may be some claps of thunder in there as the showers moving through, and because of that as well, you're going to get temperatures which are going to be what they say above average. Then there's an increased chance of gales in the south of the country, again with rain. There could be the odd little clap of thunder that's knocking around as well. With the heavy rains, and we've also got some rains in the northwest of the United Kingdom as well. But what is interesting is those above average temperatures start to become a bit normal, but especially at night, they may actually start to see a few little freezy patches in the prone area, especially the elevated areas as well. As usual, if I can ask you kindly, you can go and join us on the Patreon page or the membership on the YouTube channel. The links to everything that I do are normally hiding in the description area down below from £1 a month, and it just really does help the channel. Don't forget to check us all out on Weather Fans, the Facebook page there where Michael, Liz, Paul and Scott, obviously everybody puts all their content on there. Phone goes off at the most inappropriate times. Get back in focus, Nodrog. There you go. I'm so pumped and looking forward to the new season, and for obviously churning out the content. And again, like I said last night, thank you for all the new subscribers who have joined us, and the new membership supporters and Patreon supporters that have come on board to help support this channel. I really want to get this going this year, and certainly get a lot more exposure for the weather that we have in this country, the people who love it, and obviously weather fans themselves. And like I always say, I am definitely not a professional. I only talk what I know, and if you can add more to anything I say, then by all means, please join the discussion down below. Don't forget to follow me on my socials, especially Twitter. I'm trying to build up the Twitter up more so than ever. That's where most of the weather-related content you will find from Storm Chaser Nodrog. Oh, and before I do go, I just wanted to find out as well what the official highest wind recorded in this country has ever been and when was it done. Now, in my brain, I was thinking it was about 160, 170 miles an hour, but I was shocked actually to find out that this is the unofficial record, which got my attention first, for wind speeds in the United Kingdom was 197 miles an hour, recorded in 1992 at Saxavord on Unst in the Shetland Islands. The gust was recorded just before measuring equipment was actually blown away. But the official one is not far off actually what I was thinking. I got them the wrong way around in my brain. But the official one was actually 173 miles an hour, about 150 knots, at Cairngorm Summit in the Scottish Highlands on March the 20th, 1986. It's absolutely phenomenal. I love when records are broken and no one gets hurt, because it gets you all going and excited to what excellent Mother Nature can do. And speaking about records being broken as well, obviously Australia are in the midst of their summer, and I think, is it Alice Springs? They've got a weather recording station there. Alice Springs. It's either past couple of days or so, you have to check it on Google. I think they've reached 46 degrees Celsius. That is cooking. I mean, it was hot for us, wasn't it, a few years ago, was it 2020? When we had that massive spell, which was the warm air dragged up from Iberia, which made it very interesting for here in the country. Right, I'm rambling on. I've got to go and do a couple of things now. Look after yourselves. I will be back sometime in the week to give you some more weather updates, or outlooks as I like to call them. Please subscribe to the channel, and make sure you keep your eyes to the skies. Ta-ra.